Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out Tower of God, Season 2, Episode 24. We're getting there. I feel like that's where I'm at, where I'm like, I'm so close, and I feel determined now to finish this because I've committed this much. And if nothing else, I want to see the haircut. So that's where I'm at, despite the fact that we have a bit of a final showdown happening before that. Maybe it could be good. We'll see. In 3, 2, 1, go. Very dramatic music. Oh yeah, I will continue to be upset about this. I will continue to be upset with Cassino in general. I hold a grudge. You impaled my sweet teddy bear. So, like, no forgiveness. Which is, like, oddly the difference of how I feel about, like, Beta versus Cassino. Look, teddy bear's off limits. Especially since, like, we had that whole thing where it was like, we're like brothers, we're family. And then the betrayal. Honestly, I think you can just dust that off. She'll be fine. Honestly, considering how much she's been through, I don't know if anyone could take her out. I feel like she'd just pop up again somewhere else. Badang? I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name anywhere correctly. I am sorry. I'm just an English speaker. And it doesn't help that the names in the show are from like a bunch of different backgrounds. It'll be like the craziest names and then also like Greg. Right? And like it's a Korean webtoon, but the anime where I can hear someone saying it, I have like the Japanese voice acting. So like none of it's lining up for me to know what the pronunciations are. I just try my best. And give it the old college try. But I do like the sound design of this show. I will give it that. For all of my thoughts about how I can see the potential for the animation and it makes me sad, the sound design is usually on point, with a few exceptions. They really like this dramatic choir music at the end here, and I'm like, I feel like this is not warranted for what's happening in this scene. Nothing's going on. The cost of battle. I like how he's like, aggressively accept my love. Oh, it's little hops. He's so cute. It's my sweet boy. I agree. I was so happy when my core 3 are together. Like, every time that happens to the webtoon, I'm like, thank God. Friendship. I know, he knows how to smile. Crazy. Just having a proud dad moment. Alcruptor is such a dad. Like, all the time. Surprisingly alive. Which is great for him. Agreed. I also think it's a miracle that he's alive. You. Look, there's just certain characters in the series that I'm like, I will never ever like you. I can hold a grudge with the best of them. And it's oddly, there's at least, if I had a nickel for every time a woman in this series with a Western name infuriated me, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. You have thinky face. See? Shibisu and I are on the same wavelength sometimes. He's smarter than me. Way to foreshadow the fact that we still have a few episodes left. Subtlety has always been Kun's MO, right? I mean, we've seen his wonderful disguises. Why indeed? Mm-hmm. Thank you for monologuing. I love that when I was reading this in the webtoon, I was like, I don't really understand all the rules of the workshop battles. And then I was like, by the end, I'm like, oh, we're not doing it anyway, so it's fine. Cool, let's do crimes. Look, people are doing crimes all over the place in the tower. We might as well do it for our own benefit. Yes, be somewhere where you cannot see what is going on. Not giving supervillain energy at all. True. I mean, we already have what we came here for. So... Yes, remember when we saw that symbol? Previously? Active rankers. I think an important piece of information. There's some crazy stories as this series goes on. Oh, yeah. He was so hopeful. Look, she'll be fine. She's always fine. Oh, well, you would definitely go back for a teddy bear and Novik, though. Again, thank you for the exposition that this is going to be the final part of the story. He will. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that we lined up on what we were saying there. Oh, most definitely a trap. But we're gonna do it. Look, if I've learned anything from the series, is that even though something is obviously a trap, we're still gonna try. I like how, cause just like, fine. Oh, good. We got a time limit. Let's go. No, we don't do that anymore. You have a team. I mean, you tell me best girl? Ugh. Ugh. Brilliant entrance. Best girl! If nothing else, I get to watch her for a little bit. I think she's in a different world. She's focused on other things. Which honestly, as she should be. This is all just a minor inconvenience for her. All the rage. He scares most people. Just have a comedic interlude. I don't know either, but honestly, I'd follow him too. I'm just thinking, now also with the stuff of with like Laurora, we didn't get the flashback, did we? Of the like meanwhile, right? Of how they ended up getting how they ended up coming to this point and having a coon with them. We just didn't go to the arcade. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Did you try not using them as experiments and then forcing them to murder all of their friends? Maybe. Just throwing out ideas. Look, I don't even like being around kids, and I've also like never experimented on them or forced them into like a battle royale situation. So, uh-huh. No sympathy for me. This isn't even the first time I've heard the sob story, and I'm like, wah, wah, wah. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that she can't grow as a person. I'm just saying it's gonna take a whole lot more than being a little bit torn up about the fact that your actions have consequences. I think you need to take some ownership. I know that some stuff has been done to you, some terrible things have happened, but like ownership of one's actions might be a good step for you, Beta. I hate that when I saw that, my brain was like, lightsaber? Which, in this series, who knows? Right? Because there's the definitely not Pokeballs, and the definitely not Daft Punk, and the definitely not a Dragon Ball reference. We don't bring up the family issues. Ooh, I like the shattering sound there when she kicked him. The music cue. I'm just remembering how this all went. You know, add it to the list of nightmare fuel I've gotten from this series. Are we surprised he was hiding things? He wears a mask. I'm just saying. And exposition number 3, just in case you weren't sure that this was the end. uh... It's a good use of that teleportation ability she has, right? Because she has to get close to them. The amount of arrogance in that single scene. Love it. I don't know if we need to call him a weirdo. I don't know why we're just yelling. I don't know why they think that that's going to be an effective way of finding him. He doesn't say much. Oh, my sweet boy Rock. It was a hard fall. I mean, he's fine, but like... Oh, my darling. Teamwork. Seriously, dude, you look like Penguin from Batman. It really is wild that there are that many people who are just like emotionally attached to Emily. But I mean, I also live in a world in which some wild things are said about people talking to like AI and chatbots and things, and I'm like, what's going on? Genuinely curious. Honestly, that was a cool shot to have him reach towards the camera before the like freeze effect. Dude, you're starting to make me uncomfortable. I love Roku just like hanging off of the house. He just got little feetsies. Challenge accepted. I like that you get the sound effect of like the water as well. I don't know if that's actually pretty or if my brain is just like, ooh, lights. Dude, the voice actor's making me uncomfy. I was already uncomfy by the like fanaticism, but now I'm just like the voice acting that an extra level, and I'm just like, my guy. Of course you had. In whom we trust, he always has a plan. I mean, really, the saving grace for me in this episode was Rock being cute, always enough to get my attention, and best girl on Dorsey. Does she deserve better in terms of showing off her fighting ability? Always. But I'll take it. And I think that there's so many moving parts right at this point in the story. And I think that is like one of the issues with a story like this anyways. There's so many cast members. There's so many different parts happening. There are so many different plot lines that are happening simultaneously that at a certain point, it just gets difficult to figure it all out. Even just like being someone who's reading the stories, it can sometimes be like, I don't even know fully, keep track of everything, right? So it's already a complex story anyway. And then trying to fit that into, we have this many episodes, we have this much runtime, we have this much budget, is like gonna be an issue in and of itself for the series. And I think losing some of the flashback, is the flashback with Lororo super important to the plot? No, but it does explain why they have a certain ally with them. It explains why like certain people are there, and I feel like because we're speeding along to be like, okay, we need to get to the next few things and get all the information in, especially at this point, that you just lose some of that. And maybe that's just because I like to linger. When I'm reading the webtoon, I'm always lingering in these different aspects of it and getting to pull apart all the different sides that like you just don't have time for that in something like an anime. But that being said, I do think that because there are so many elements at this point in the story, it does help with some of the pacing in terms of not having like the action stuff going on to pull things, right? Like even just animation in general, it's like we have to decide how we're going to pace things because the animation won't be able to keep up with some of the more like rapid fire things that are going on. So I think that having so many different things where you're like switching from one scene to the next is at least helping with some of that, because it's like we have a time limit, we have a lot of characters that need to get into the same place at the same time, we need to rescue multiple people in multiple different places, and that's helping with some of the carrying things along. I think that some of my critiques of the last couple of episodes have been like, it just felt slow, and some of that is I know all of the reveals, all the important information. I'm like, I already know what the outcome of this is going to be. So I definitely want to go and like, see what other people's kind of like reactions and stuff were for people who this is how they're experiencing the story for the first time, because it's definitely going to be different for them, right? Getting some of the reveals is going to feel differently, and it's going to help pull you in a lot more. Whereas for me, since I know, I'm focusing in on other things, but I do feel a little bit like it's picking up, at least in terms of being fun a little bit again. I think for a couple of episodes, a few episodes there, I was like, I just don't feel like this is as fun as it was for me when I was like, oh, I just like, I want to see the characters and I want to see the world and I want to go through the story again, but through a different medium and all of that. And it feels like a little bit more within that like pocket of at least it's fun. Like I'm okay with turning my brain off and just like having some fun with it. So I don't know. I'm like mixed things going into like the last couple of episodes of this series. Are we getting a third season? I have no idea. I'm reading the webtoon, so I don't need more story, but it just makes me curious about what the production is going to happen, because it's already a little bit wonky in terms of production history of all of this. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with you. You can click this playlist to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so miss next time I post a Tower of God video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.